My sister Danielle and Nick are not capable of raising my niece. They are absentee parents.
I've done a lot for my daughter, and I've done pretty damn well.
Since the beginning, their drug addiction was their first priority. My niece was born addicted to heroin and methadone. As a result, my niece was hospitalized for 3 months. Nick wasn't around because he was incarcerated. Nick and Danielle were not good parents.
I consider myself a good mother. Even though I was using drugs, I was never neglectful.
They barely fed her at home. She went most of the day without being fed until like 10 o'clock at night. When I first got my niece, at 6 years old, she was 37 pounds. My sister would only bathe my niece once a week when she felt like it. At 6 years old, my niece wasn't even fully potty trained.
That is totally ridiculous. I always made sure she ate, she was dressed properly. I made sure my daughter went to bed on time.
Last year, my niece missed over 70 days of school. One time, my sister and Nick left my niece unattended in her bedroom with the door locked. My sister and Nick just left her there so they could score and get high. Ultimately, the courts did not see them as fit parents. As a result, I ended up getting custody.
That's absolutely not true. There isn't a single document stating that Kimberly has full custody of our daughter. This is all Kimberly's doing.
After that hearing, she went missing and disappeared.
Kimberly classified us as missing persons. Kimberly started this Facebook frenzy, broadcasted to everybody that we were missing, sick, and mentally unstable. It was ridiculous.
After more than a month, I found my sister and Nick on the streets of Boston. This is Methadone Mile. This is where most of the druggies live. I'm looking for my sister. The police officer is with me, and he showed her picture. As we're coming back down the staircase, she came right around this corner, and they placed Nick under arrest right here. Danielle was high. She was literally shooting up in my car. At that point, she told me, "I think I'm pregnant." When Nick got out of jail, my sister immediately went back to him on the run. Till this day, Nicholas and my sister have not tried to get my niece back. They have done nothing.
Okay, I'm glad that you've got this child at this point, and I think you are too, right?
Yes.
Now, you were asked to take the child, correct?
I was asked.
So it wasn't like you came in during the night and stole this child out of its bed.
No.
And what you have is custodial guardianship, correct?
Correct.
Until her 18th birthday.
Until her 18th birthday.
Most law is based on what's called good public policy, right? We have laws that follow from just what works well in our society, and in our society, it's just good public policy for children to be with their parents, right?
Correct.
I mean,
yes.
wouldn't you agree?
I would agree.
It's the normal order of things that children be with their parents. So when they're not, something dramatic usually has happened for a court to say, I'm taking this child away from their parents and putting it over here. Now, your niece was actually born addicted to heroin and methadone, correct?
That is correct.
And spent between 2 and 3 months in the hospital before she could be sent home.
Discharged, yep.
Because she was in withdrawal.
Correct. She got discharged 2 weeks before Christmas of
Okay,
2010.
and that's very difficult for an infant. I mean,
Yes.
they're very fragile at that point, so that's a tough thing. But her parents were allowed to take her at that point until 6 years old.
Correct.
Okay, and you said at that point she wasn't even potty trained.
She was not potty trained at 6 when I got custody of her.
Okay, now I actually kind of made a list of things that you found particularly appalling, and I'm going to give them a chance to respond to these. She was born addicted, and you said oftentimes she wasn't fed until like 10 o'clock at night.
Yes.
Just once a day, 10 o'clock at night.
She treated her more like a doll, like let me buy her nice things and, put her hair up. And to me, as a parent, that's the last thing you should be worried about.